Hi everybody, thanks for tuning in. I wanted to remind you that this is the week working up to that crazy full moon, lunar, the eclipse, the blood moon, the wolf moon. That is this coming weekend. The interesting thing is, if you actually want to watch the total eclipse, it starts about 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the actual total eclipse will start at 11:41, peaks at 12:13 a.m., and is over at 12:43 p.m. The full moon actually peaks at 12:16 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is all for Eastern Standard Time. You would have to adjust that to your time zone. I got a question from Gary in New York, and he has a question about the number 12 video that I did about the moon, and he wanted to know why spirits have more energy during this phase of the moon. I don't know. All I know is that when anybody ever has a lot of trouble, it happens the week working up to a full moon, or on a new moon the day of, and it lasts for the day till the day after. It just has something to do with whatever that phase of the moon is. And again, because it's an eclipse and a supermoon and a blood moon and everything else this weekend, if you have ghosts in your house, you are certainly going to know it. There's no doubt in my mind. Now, this is another thing that came in for last week's YouTube. A gal by the name of Kikis and others are absolutely convinced that while I was talking that there were ghosts behind me. And no. What that was is the house down the next down by me was having a new roof and new gutters put on. And the blinds were open, and apparently I didn't pay any attention, and there were workers working back there. So no ghosts, just workers working on their roof and everything back there. Today we're going to do some questions, and this one is from a Jenny from Pueblo, Arizona, I believe. Anyway, it's okay. She found when ghosts speak, my book was absolutely fascinating, and it really put a lot of things about ghosts into perspective. But here's some questions that she didn't think were answered very well in that book. And the first one is, how exactly do ghosts move things, and where do they go when the items can't be found? Okay, this week that we're in, is one of those times when an earthbound spirit has more energy, and they can certainly move things. Where they take them, who knows? Can they throw them out? Absolutely. Usually people find them. There was, just real quick, there was a lady that when her children left the house, she decided she was going to remodel. She had an old house. She had an attic, but there was no access to it from her house. So she decided to have the ceiling raised and a bunch of other stuff. When the contractor came out and started ripping down the old ceiling, the stuff that fell out of that attic were amazing. Old report cards, school pictures from when the kids were in kindergarten. They were in college now. So it was all kinds of stuff was just pouring out of the ceiling. There was no access to the ceiling. I don't know. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. There are days I have more questions than answers. I don't know how they do it. Maybe someday I'll figure it out, but right now I'm at a loss. Her second question is, what does negativity look like? What does good energy look like? It's a feeling. When something is good, you feel good. When it's a happy, positive place, you feel good. When something or someone is negative, you feel that too. what are they? Cranky, crabby, out of sorts. So that would be the feeling that negative energy can give to you if you are in a room with, say, negative earthbound spirits. Third question, can animals be negative or have negativity around them? Of course. An earthbound spirit can affect your pets in the house. Absolutely. And, you know, it's very, I mean, is there any place in the house that your dog won't go if you're not with them? Or how hard is it to get your dog to come down the basement? Sometimes dogs are almost smarter than people. They know what to avoid. Fourth question, can I see dead trees or vegetation? No, I don't see spirits of those. I see spirits of animals and people, but not plants or trees or anything like that. I cannot do that. Do I see dead people with my physical eyes or with your mind? I think it's a combination of both. When I'm talking to you on the telephone and I can pick up something in your house, obviously that's with my mind. But when I'm in the same room with them, I can see them, but I don't have to speak out loud. And so it's a combination of both. The last question, what happens when someone buys an item that a ghost is attached to, but the buyer uses salt? What does the ghost do? First of all, it's not salt, it's sea salt. And anything you buy used or pick up off a curb, sprinkle a little bit of sea salt on it. And about 70 or 80% of the time, the ghost will not follow you. I don't know what the property is in sea salt, but they definitely do not like it. So, those are your questions for this time. Again, keep an eye on that full moon this week, and we'll talk next week. Thanks so much.